And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the off-ball linebacker episode. And as you can imagine, we will be talking about the 5 greatest off-ball linebackers of all time. And all 5 of us are here today. And
talking through the intro.
geez, it's just like last week. Everybody's waving their arms and jumping on the couches and shit. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
I've done so well. I totally forgot about it this week.
Okay, and
Yeah, during the music, he started talking, and then Uncle Doug signaled to him like, and then he was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh,
dude, on our first 2 episodes of Blockbuster Bumps, Barry and Justin just like completely talked to the intro song, and you can hear it clear as day. Like Ray and I were talking about the other day. We're like, "Can we get it out?" I like cussed him out after that. Like, I was like, "Stop fucking talking during the intro music." Or I was like, "I don't know how hard this is."
Yeah, see, that was my first one. My bad.
Anyway,
I stopped. I did.
it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible."
no, I just didn't know what was going on because Drew's like hopping up and down on the couch over here. I'm like, what is going on?
Once he realized what he did, I think there was a little excitement there.
Anyway, all 5 of us are here. We're ready to go. So, Drew, who is your 5 on your linebacker list?
Brian Urlacher.
Of course.
Yeah, he didn't make my list.
It's all right. No, didn't make it.
It's okay.
I got you.
Yes.
Brian Urlacher is my 5. I love Brian Urlacher.
I do too. I actually like Brian Urlacher a lot.
He's probably my favorite Bear.
5-time All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler. He's in the Hall of Fame. Member of the All-2000s team. He has the Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's the Bears' all-time leader in tackles. He has 41 sacks. He has 11 forced fumbles. He has 1,300 career tackles. And he has 22 interceptions. He was a pretty well-rounded middle linebacker, I would say. And he led those Bears defenses for all those years. I mean, he could do it all at middle linebacker. I mean, he'd sack, he'd get interceptions, he played coverage. He's a tackling machine for a decade in Chicago until the very end when he started getting nicked up a little bit.
His body just started breaking down on him, I think.
I mean,
well, a couple things about Urlacher. First off, at 6'4", 260, he could really move.
he could.
He could run. Second off, every time I see him now, I can't get over the fact that he has hair.
I think he owns his own like hair. What's it called? Like he owns like a company that does that for people.
Oh, really? Like the hair transplant stuff?
Hair implants.
Hair
Yeah.
implants,
like LeBron does and stuff.
Yeah, like LeBron does.
Well, it's a known fact. He's done it for years.
Oh, man.
I mean, there's a bunch of people that do it.
I thought he was just shaking that powder on his dome.
No, yeah. Well, here's my thing with Brian Urlacher. He doesn't quite. His body didn't hold up quite as long as a few other guys that we're probably going to talk about, but his career totals are still very impressive in my opinion. And in his prime, he played the same time as Ray Lewis, and I think you could easily argue there were multiple seasons where Brian Urlacher was better than Ray Lewis. I think there was a period of time where I personally think Brian Urlacher was just flat out better than Ray Lewis. I think he did a little bit more on the field. It didn't last throughout their entire career, but I think there was a period of time where I think Brian Urlacher was better than Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis has much better longevity and accomplished more overall in his career. But what?
He's got a ring. Or 2 rings, I guess.
Brian Urlacher took Rex Grossman to a Super Bowl. That's pretty damn hard.
That's
No, that was Lance Briggs. That wasn't...
whoa.
But in Urlacher in his prime, he was the definition of sideline to sideline linebacker, and to have over 40 sacks and over 20 interceptions and all the tackles, and just in his prime, he just did everything so well, and there was nothing he wasn't great at as a linebacker in his prime.
I think he is one of the few linebackers that we're going to talk about today that would thrive today.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've gotten so much lighter and faster in today's NFL. And Urlacher was really fast, even at 260. So even if they asked him to lose a few pounds, it would only help, you know?
Yeah. Didn't he run like a 4.5 or something?
I think he ran a 4.5 at the combine. Yeah.
That's pretty.
He was fast.
Good.
For that size, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was. Yeah.
I mean, I can't run a 4.5, and I weigh nothing close to 260. So,
So yeah, that's pretty
Drew,
much.
what can you run a 40 in?
I think 4.4.
Really?
4.4, yeah, I think.
And he's got what, 70 pounds on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's why he's in the NFL.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
was in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Brian Urlacher. He's my favorite Bear. I have a Brian Urlacher jersey. I've always liked Brian Urlacher.
I have one somewhere.
Yeah. That was
I'm
one of
not
my first
surprised.
ever.
After I wear them out, they go to the basement, and the rest of them are stored.
I got a little spot at the bottom of one of my dressers and in my closet where I stash all my jerseys. But I think Brian Urlacher was one of my first ever non-Colt jerseys I ever got.
How many? 2 people had her like, or you just you 2?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, was that your 5, Wade?
Yes. He's my five.
So, Uncle Doug, who's your 5?
Dick Butkus.
He's my 2.
I also have Buckets at 2.
He's my 2.
I got him at 3.
Unanimous.
A unanimous so early.
Yeah. Well, I figured he'd be in there. And, I mean, what can you say about him? He's just Mr. Middle Linebacker.
Yeah.
8 Pro Bowls, 6 All-Pros, 5 of them are first team. Only had 11 sacks. And it's really hard to find any tackle numbers.
It was close to 1,000
The best I could find was 1,020.
in like 8 years.
You found more than I did. I didn't
Yeah.
find tackle
It's
numbers.
close to it. It's about 1,000.
Yeah. And the 8 years does hurt the numbers some. But he was just such a force on the field.
Yeah.
Well, all of his tackles were hit stick tackles.
The Maestro of Mayhem.
Yes.
That's a cool ass name.
I mean,
Yeah.
He was an animal.
he
That's one of his
squeeze his
nicknames as
knuckles,
well.
blood would just come out, and then he'd get up, go do stuff. I mean, he just
Didn't him and Deacon Jones play at the same time?
Roughly, I think.
I think because I remember watching stuff about like because those two were both like the guys of all of football.
Late 60s,
Yeah.
early 70s.
Yeah, and I remember watching like videos and stuff, and like they talk shit to everyone and about everyone except the other one.
he has a touchdown. Have you seen his touchdown? It's on a field goal attempt. They catch it, they muff it, and they just start running. He catches it in the end zone, and then like the defense is running this way. He holds the ball out at the defense, and he's like taunting them. He's just holding it there. And they slap it. They try to slap it. He died. It's funny.
But they both are just gnarly and mean and talk shit to everybody. But they both talked very respectfully about each other and everything. And multiple videos I've watched, like they're pretty much like the only other guy that was on my level was, like Deacon Jones would say Dick Butkus, and Dick Butkus said the same thing about Deacon Jones.
I was saying Dick Butkus grew up in Chicago, so I mean,
Yeah.
playing for the Bears, he was right. Yeah. I mean,
The thing I think that surprised me most about Butkus was he has 22 interceptions playing when he did. When they didn't throw the ball that much.
Right.
Yeah,
So that was an interesting thing for me. Because first off, when you think of Butkus, you just think of like bone crushing hits and him, coming downhill and just laying guys out. I don't really think of him picking off passes. So
no.
I just think it's when you think about when people say the word middle linebacker, I think of Ray Lewis and Dick Butkus. Those are the first two people I think of. He's like, I don't know, and Dick Butkus is like one of the all-time great intimidators in NFL history. Like he just disrupted everything. Everyone was intimidated by him. Like he set the tone. He dominated. He crushed everyone. Like that's just how it was.
Mm-hmm.
But
by the way, he's all 60s and all 70s. All right.
I'm
Well,
surprised he didn't have a Defensive Player of the Year.
yeah.
when did they introduce it?
I don't know.
It's also a good question because
He might have his prime year.
there's no like he finished 3rd or 4th in the,
it's
on
just-
here.
yeah,
So
it's probably not even around.
Yeah.
Might not have been around.
Or maybe it came around like at his last like year or two. When he
I
wasn't.
can't imagine him not getting a defense player
Right,
vote
that's-
for
that's
his
what I
whole
thought.
career.
Oh yeah.
Because all the guys I picked had Defensive Players of the Year except him.
Me
I could
too.
not put him on.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got
All right. So who?
what we had so far? Just him and Erlacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, Urlacher. So
So far, it's all Bears.
Yeah.
Ray, do you have a 5 left?
I do.
Who is your 5, sir?
Ray Nitschke.
Packer goes in there.
The
I did think about Ranitzky. He was a beast.
1971 was the first year for the Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, okay.
So when did Butkus retire?
He retired in 73.
Oh, so
That was at the end of his career.
End of his career.
Yeah.
Like said, yeah. Ray Nitschke.
2-time Super Bowl champ. 5
5 NFL.
NFL champs. All 60s team. He is in the Hall of Fame. Let's see. Let's look at these stats here. He's got 2 TDs, which I like, along with his first name. Let's see. 23 fumble recoveries.
You going through stats cracks me up, Ray.
Just get through it, Ray. Just get through it.
Power through.
Fuck it. Oh, my God.
I mean, he was their best defensive player when they were winning Super Bowls and being the best, most dominant team in football.
Oh, yeah.
He was an all-time great
Those were
linebacker.
his all-pros.
Yeah.
And you notice his all-pros kind of disappear about the time
They get
Butkus becomes a power.
Yeah. I could. Yeah. I didn't really think about that. but-
Butkus came in the late 60s, and that's when Nitschke's stuff kind of stops.
Yeah.
The Bears.
Kind of passed the torch.
He has 25 picks,
Neshke does.
Yeah.
16 sacks.
That division would have been nasty to play in back then. You play the Packers twice, you got to face him twice. You play the Bears twice, you got to play the Butkus.
Didn't the Lions have it?
Sam Huff.
Well, and then you got to play the Purple People Eaters.
Right. I mean,
mean-
that was a nasty division. Nasty for quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs.
I wouldn't be an offensive lineman messing with all them. Like, I mean,
Be rough.
piles were nasty back then. Is that all you got on old Ray?
Yeah,
Ray?
I never watched him play or anything, so I can't evaluate
Yeah, I
him.
didn't realize that's why I said it.
Played. He was mean.
All those old middle linebackers were mean.
Well, didn't people used to say? I mean, Ray Nitschke was the Dick Butkus of the Packers.
Right.
And that's what he was.
He was
Okay.
off-brand Dick Bucket. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Oh, just take a look at him.
He's a generic.
No,
He's a generic version.
Not somebody you want to mess with.
Oh, nah.
Well, I guess we'll move on.
He's about to, yeah,
I'm about to do it because I have a 5 left, and it's none other than Junior Seau.
First off, that's all I got.
baby.
He already thinks he's number 5. He already thinks he's number 5.
So Junior Seau is a Hall of Famer. He played 20 years in the league. He played 9 All-Pro, sorry I had to count, and 12 Pro Bowls. He's on the All-90s team. He won a Walter Payton Man of the Year. I guess that's something. Seau was a beast when I was growing up. Tackle machine. I do believe he's 3rd all-time in tackles.
I don't know.
He's behind.
He's up there.
I'm pretty sure it's 3rd. He has 1,800 tackles for his
Yeah.
career, which is a pretty insane number. He has 18 interceptions, 56 and a half career sacks, and 18 fumble recoveries, one of which he returned for a touchdown. Seau was a definite tackle machine for a long time. He was just played in San Diego, who sucked.
Yeah.
And didn't really get to showcase his talents. I could probably count on one hand how many times I got to watch him play on like a Monday or Sunday night game or something. So poor Junior Seau. And unfortunately, he's known for more than football at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, Wasn't he another CTE guy?
Yeah, I mean, his brain was donated to science to study CTE.
Yeah.
I think that's why he shot himself in the chest and not the head, is because I think he left a note saying he wanted them to look at his brain.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine. No, just never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want. I was thinking the same thing anyway, but I don't want to talk.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about
that's
it.
we can be more positive on this podcast. I mean, to be honest, before the Denny and Tomlinson, I think a lot of people remembered him as like the Chargers guy. Like, you had like those Dan Faust years and Kellen Winslow, but at least like when I was growing up, like Junior Seau like was the Chargers. Like he was their guy.
By the way, he played 13 years in San Diego and made 3 playoff appearances.
One of them went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Then
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Then Steve Young. All-time performance.
He did. He did. Isn't that weird though? Like they can only make the playoffs 3 times out of 13 years, but one of those random years they make the Super Bowl.
It's just another Chargers thing. They've done it since the beginning.
They are just a weird franchise.
I mean,
Unfortunately, the trend is continuing with Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wasting him.
yeah, Staley's getting fired. There's no bones about it.
Yeah, maybe Belichick can go there, fix the defense.
I've heard that. I heard Belichick's going to San Diego or Herbert's going to New England.
And then Jim Harbaugh is going to the Bears.
Before we go too far into this rabbit hole, I do think Belichick would be actually a decent fit with the Chargers.
I mean, he would bring order and like management to a situation that has none.
And use all that talent on a defense and not make them be like the 28th ranked defense. He can probably get them inside the top 10. And then if you give that to Justin Herbert, you're going to win some games.
Yeah.
Anyway, though.
By the way, I just want to point this out. I do believe Junior Seau was also on that undefeated New England team.
I think he was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I was there in 2007, so yeah.
2007. Played all 16 games.
I don't remember him being in Miami. That's the one thing I don't remember.
I don't really remember that either.
I mean, obviously, I remember San Diego. I remember him in New England. I have no recollection of him in
Yeah,
Miami.
him and Zach Thomas played together for a few years. I do remember that.
Jason Taylor, I see there too.
Taylor might have been there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Taylor probably retired somewhere around that time, so he might have played together for a couple years. Jason Taylor actually is kind of a forgotten guy. He was
a
good.
beast, man.
He was good.
Freaky athletic. All right, well, anybody else have anything? Am I the only one with Sal, by the way?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't have him.
All right.
He was close, but
All right, well, who has 4 left?
I do.
I do.
Just you two?
I do, but I figure they go. Before I
Oh.
say mine again.
All right, Uncle Doug, who's your 4?
Derek Brooks.
Oh, he's also my 4.
He's my 3.
He's my 4.
Nope.
Oh,
Dang it. Almost had one.
I like Derek Brooks.
Oh, I do too.
He is.
He's a tackling machine.
He is
Yeah.
a beast.
Super Bowl, 11 Pro Bowls, 9 All Pros, 5 of them first team. Defensive Player of the Year. He's got over 1,700 tackles. He was just the heart of that Bucs defense.
He was second level heart. I mean, in fact, the last couple of weeks we just talked about this Bucs defense.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
they're probably one of the 5 greatest defenses ever. I think like, in their primes. I would put them in the top 5.
I just want to say something real quick. 133, 145, 158, 153, 146. That's 5 straight years of Derek Brooks' career.
Wasn't he also like phenomenal in coverage?
Yes, he was one of the best coverage linebackers in football.
That's what I remember
100%.
about him. I remember him just he's being this great athlete and using his speed and being like one of the greatest cover linebackers of all
He
time.
returned 6 interceptions for touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that shows his athleticism right there. He was a monster. We got to think. On an all-time great defense that had John Lynch and Barber and Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice, you can argue that Derek Brooks is probably the best one.
Yeah.
Like usually the conversation comes down to him and Sapp. Usually,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
But-
aren't those the only two that got Defense Player of the Years?
yeah. Lynch definitely never got one.
No, Lynch didn't get one. I don't think Barber did.
No, I don't
either.
think
Barber was a beast though for a little while.
He was.
He just got into the Hall, didn't he?
He might have.
I thought.
I think he did get in the Hall.
Yeah.
I think
He
he
deserves
did.
it if he did. He
Rondé
was
did.
Yeah.
very, very tough corner for a very long time. And Simeon Rice had over 100 career sacks, I believe.
Did he have that many?
I think he's over 100.
So that was just like you said, just another I think top 5 defense all time.
Yeah.
Just what?
Like off the top of my head, you go. Everyone says 85 Bears and 2000 Ravens, and then you got like the 70s Steelers, maybe some of the 70s or 80s Raiders. You know, you got like the
Purple People
Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Purple People Eaters, and you got like the Buccaneers team.
Didn't Brooks return an interception for a touchdown in the Super Bowl that year?
Oh, didn't they absolutely
I
slaughter?
mean, they slaughtered the Raiders. I think everyone.
What year did they win?
Yeah.
Oh, not
They won in between.
the Rams won.
They won in 2002.
It's in between the Patriots.
Yeah,
The Patriots won one.
48-21 Super Bowl.
Yeah, because that was the Gruden.
Yeah, but 48
Crap.
points from Brad Johnson's offense. That's
That's
Brad
pretty good.
Johnson.
It was a slaughtering.
Let's see how they scored.
Oh, and who was the big fullback that the Bucks had?
Mike
Allstott.
Allstott.
Awesome.
And they had Warwick Dunn as the
Yes.
the real fast running back.
Mike Allstott rushed for a touchdown. Keenan McCardell caught a touchdown. Then he caught another one. Dwight Smith returned an interception for a touchdown.
Did he win MVP?
Yeah, I believe he did, yes. Then Derek Brooks returned an interception for a touchdown. And then Dwight Smith returned another interception for a touchdown.
Oh, so that's why I got MVP. He had 2 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice.
So they scored 3 defensive touchdowns in that Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the crazy part is they had Brad Johnson. If they would have had just a little bit better quarterback, they had Keenan McCardell and Keyshawn Johnson. They had 2 all-pro caliber wide receivers, and they had Allstott and Warwick Dunn.
Right. Two good running backs.
Imagine if they had a
and
quality
Warwick Dunn could
quarterback.
catch the ball out of the backfield.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if they would have had like Brett Favre or something. Just
Yeah,
like
it doesn't have to be Brett Favre caliber. Just something better than Brad Johnson.
yeah, Vinny Testaverde. Like, give me some of that action. Come on, Drew Bledsoe, give it to me. Ooh, Drew Bledsoe will be slinging that bitch up and down the field. Ooh. Anyway,
All right.
sounds like we all love Derek Brooks though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a beast, man.
Yeah, he's a monster.
And he won Defensive Player of the Year. The year they won the Super Bowl.
yeah,
He deserves one out of all those years.
Oh, yeah.
He had 5 interceptions, 3 of which he returned for touchdown. He had 118 tackles. He had 11 fumble recoveries, one fumble recovery for 11 yards. Sorry, but he returned it for a touchdown. And he had 7 tackles for loss.
that sounds kind of similar to one of the Ray Lewis Defensive Player of the Year awards. The team defense was an all-time great defense, so they gave the Defensive Player of the Year to the best player, even though their stats aren't like earth-shattering. Yeah. They just have to respect the best player on the all-time great defense.
They allowed 12.3 points per game that year.
Yeah, that's an all-time great defense.
Yeah.
You start hitting at the single digits. It's
Yeah.
Well, I just remember the year before. I think it was the year before.
well, they played you in the NFC Championship game. It was 11-6.
Right, yeah. I mean, the greatest show on turf, and we barely could score. Of course, they couldn't score on our defense either.
That's what I'm saying. If they had a confident quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had but the rest of their whole team was loaded.
Yeah.
When you think about this, this is crazy. Brad Johnson was their quarterback, and I'm pretty sure he threw like 20 picks this year. He wasn't a great quarterback, but in the first round of the playoffs, they played the 49ers and won 31-6. Second round, they played the Eagles. They won 27-10.
Not bad.
And they went to the Super Bowl against the Raiders, who have the MVP playing quarterback, and they win 48-21.
Of course, the defense scored as many points.
Yeah.
The defense scored as many points as they gave up.
Oh, and you got to think they had not only like a Pro Bowl running back, but a Pro Bowl fullback that also ran and caught the ball. So
And,
they just pounded it down everyone's throat.
Michael Pittman was also their other running back.
Yeah. And then when they had to pass, I mean, Johnson had 2 great receivers to pass to. Like, they were, like, loaded everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, there's really no way around it.
Think about this, though, too. They had, like we said, they had John Gruden as their coach. Monty Kiffin was their defensive coordinator. Okay,
yeah.
well-known coordinator. You have Jay Gruden on the offensive side of the ball, who became a head coach.
Washington.
Rod Marinelli was their defensive line coach, head coach in the NFL. Raheem Morris was their quality control coach, head coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin was their defensive backs coach, head coach in the NFL, and one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Right.
They had a really great coaching staff.
I'd say so.
So, yeah. Anyway, we spent a lot of time on...
I like Derek.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I don't mind those Buccaneers. They're not.
No.
No, I don't have anything against the Buccaneers.
I almost feel like he's going to be on the list.
I'm not going to lie. I rooted for this Buccaneers team in the Super Bowl that
Oh,
year.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't remember where was that? Somebody's 4?
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
4.
it was.
So does anybody have a 4 left? Ray, who you got?
Mike Singletary.
He's my 3.
That's my 3.
I don't have him.
I don't have him.
Oh, Lordy. All right. Mike is also in the Hall of Fame. He's got a Super Bowl title, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. That's pretty impressive. All 80s team. Let's see, 7 All-Pros. Do you have any more second team ones?
1.
1, yeah.
10 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
Let's look at his stats down here. It's like 19 sacks, 12 fumble recoveries, and no touchdowns.
And I couldn't find any tackle numbers.
He's close to 1,000 too.
Yeah.
I think he's over
I think we
1,000.
talked about it
I think-
before in
yeah.
a different episode.
He is. He's over 1,000.
Mm.
He's close to Urlacher. He's like right behind because Urlacher's the all-time leader, and then Mike Singletary I think second.
Oh, in Bears history.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we said, Urlacher was like 1,300.
Yeah.
What's his nickname? Samurai?
Samurai Mike.
Samurai Mike.
Samurai Mike used to break his helmet in practice all the time. He'd be known for breaking helmets.
Yeah.
during
Well, I just
practice.
remember those crazy eyes. You'd look, you know, if you're a quarterback staring across the line of scrimmage, you see old crazy Mike over there.
Which part of the eye thing might be because he didn't have his glasses on.
Right. Didn't have his glasses on, so.
But just another great Bears middle linebacker.
Yep.
Just another overrated Bears
What do you
linebacker.
Get out of here.
2 Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, they had to give it to somebody on the Bears. Those defenses were great.
And that is one of the greatest defenses of all time. The 85 Bears defense was
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, that was before Aaron Rodgers took over ownership of the team.
We haven't had one of those in a while.
I will point out that you guys obviously can't see because we're not on radio.
I didn't mean to
Drew
say
is
this
wearing
tonight.
his Monsters of the Midway hoodie. So
I didn't think about that, honestly. I gotta be honest. That's just what I wore today.
Remembering the good days.
Hey, the defense is looking good the last couple weeks.
Hey, and your quarterback is upping his trade value so that you can
We're not
have a
trading
USC quarterback.
No,
It's going to happen. I'm
No,
telling
it's
you
not.
right now. I'll bet you a large amount of money it
we're
happens.
not getting Caleb Williams. No, we're not. No,
you have to put a call in. Drew.
You probably get a second-round pick out of Justin Fields.
I don't want it.
Trade him to the Titans. Well, no, Levis. is playing
Trade to Pittsburgh.
It's the Falcons.
Oh,
they say if we're going to trade
Pittsburgh.
anybody,
Falcons,
they
yeah.
say the Falcons are the team. If
Oh,
we're going to
yeah,
trade him.
that's yeah. Imagine trying to stop all those guys running.
They won't do anything about it.
Yeah.
They'll probably say, Fields, you can't run. You have to stay in the pocket.
Right, which is what is killing him in Chicago.
Hmm.
When they clamp down on him, he can't. But Atlanta would be the spot since he's from Georgia.
Yeah.
Bring the hometown boy home.
Yeah. Honestly, I like Fields, but I probably agree with Alex. I think you guys will probably take a quarterback.
I think it's the wrong move.
It might be. I don't know.
Yeah, if you trade him, I still would not draft Caleb Williams #1.
Who would you go for?
I would go for Marvin Harrison Jr. and then get a quarterback later.
If you trade Justin Fields, you can't take a receiver 1. Like, then you have nobody throwing the ball.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They got another first round pick.
Right now they got one, and they got
One, and then wherever ours goes.
So what you want to
You
take?
guys are
Like
six
take
right
like
now,
the
I
kid out of LSU.
I would. I'd
So,
take
like-
him over Williams
So I think in order to get
or Bo Nix.
because in order to get Marvin would go off the board in what, top 3 or 4?
Yeah, it's-
so they'd have to use the one to get him.
If the Bears don't take him, the Cardinals are taking him.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
So
Because
then
we figure the Patriots aren't.
you guys would probably get like what, the third quarterback with the
It should
6th
be
pick.
Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
'Cause they figure Drake May will go.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I was listening to Todd McShay talk, and he said 3 quarterbacks will go top 10.
Yeah, he said who was the third guy? He
Daniels from LSU.
Daniels, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With him winning the Heisman, he's number
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And the next 2 will be Bo Nix and Michael Penix.
is Nix the guy from Oregon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Bo. And I like Jaden Daniels.
I don't want any part of Penix.
No.
No.
His injury history is so extensive.
Yeah. I'm leery of him.
Yeah. It's not that he can't, like, he's very accurate and stuff, but, like, he's been hurt so many times at this point. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we're off on a tangent there.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything to say about Singletary before we move on?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. That was Ray's 3 or 4?
Raise 4.
Ray's 4. All right. Anybody have a 3 left?
Nope.
I have a 3.
Who you got?
Jack Lambert.
That's my 2.
That's my 2.
Oh, he's my 4. Sorry. I guess I did have a 4 left.
You don't have Lambert?
All right, that's fine.
Well, who you got? What you got there, Wade?
Well, we have another guy who was the leader of one of the probably 5 greatest defenses ever. It's a trend. He probably won a couple Defensive Player of the Year awards because of it.
Yep.
I mean, it's just another psychotic, crazy middle linebacker that ruled his era of football. They won 4 Super Bowls, and he was one of the main reasons. Now, there was a lot of all-time great players on that team, but he's probably one of the few best. I am a Ham guy, not going to lie. I wasn't sure if we were going to
I didn't know where
include him.
I didn't
in
know where
these,
you were going to go with that.
so I didn't. So I just kind of left him alone.
I thought you would have Ham today instead of Lambert.
I
'cause you
was
kinda
I was waiting for it.
I wasn't
tried to
what
do
to do
that
with them.
in the Mount Rushmore that day.
Yeah.
So
because he kind of just did a little bit of everything. Ham did. So I don't really know if he would count for.
That was your
what he
argument
does.
that day. You said he did everything.
Yeah.
He's more versatile.
So yeah, but Lambert was still a great Hall of Fame guy, and he's the more well known guy. He was a more of like a leader of the team than Ham was, and he was still a monster. But I just thought Ham was just more versatile. But
Jack Lambert in 1976 had 8 fumble recoveries.
yeah, well, think of that team.
Oh.
That defense coming at you, I bet there's fumbles left and right.
Yeah.
Like Mean Joe Green by himself was probably just, and they had Hall of Famers at every level. Literally every level had multiple. I think
I mean, I don't know. Do they have multiple in the line? Do they have somebody other than?
there's only one Steel Curtain get in. I thought 2 got in.
L.C. Greenwood.
Ooh, yeah, maybe. Hold on.
And then you got Ham, Lambert, and then you got Blunt, and one of the safeties.
One of the safeties got in. Yeah, which
I don't
one
remember
was
his
it?
name, but one of the safeties got in and Blunt's the cornerback.
Right. I can't remember.
I can't think. Yeah.
Greenwood is not in the Hall of Fame.
That's the other defensive lineman I always think of.
I can't remember all 4 of them. I can't remember the damn. I know the safety. The safety's kind of like a.
We'll get there in a second.
Gonna bug me.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm pulling their team up. One of the years. Anyway.
So yeah, we're just picking off the leaders of these great. We're just picking the
Yeah.
middle linebackers off these greatest defenses.
A lot of our guys, like, they're the most intimidating guys of their era. They
Right.
back in this era, great middle linebackers ran football because they stopped the run.
Yeah.
And that's why they were so important back then. And all the guys we keep naming off from these all-time great teams were their team's great middle linebackers for these great teams. And linebackers were hugely important back then compared to what they are
A little
now.
psychotic.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that. Linebackers are kind of not as important as they once were, like
Yeah.
these kind of linebackers.
No,
but back then, they were,
After about Brian Urlacher and Ray Lewis, you don't need.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're just linebackers. You really don't here.
Well, some of them have become an extra strong safety.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what they
you
are.
talk about that. You
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
some of these guys who really can't catch or like can't move that well anymore, they just become linebackers.
Well, like,
They make them put on more weight.
they're getting so small at linebacker. A lot of them have injury problems.
Well, they got to chase running backs. They got to chase tight ends.
Well, linebackers are
Yeah.
asked to guard running backs,
Right.
and these
Well-
big guys can't guard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a reason we got rid of Shaq Leonard. He was a great linebacker a few years ago, but he's had like 3 back surgeries, a couple ankle surgeries. He has nerve damage in his back. He wasn't even a full-time starter for the past 2 years for us because he was just so small and he was so reckless and just was in every tackle. He's like just like 6 months ago, I'm pretty sure when I weighed a little bit more, me and Shaq Leonard were like 10 pounds apart. Like he's skinny as fuck. Like he's tiny and his body's just breaking down.
Donnie Shell was the safety that made the Hall of Fame for the Steelers.
There we go. So yeah, my point. The only thing I was bringing up is, I think that defense caused havoc everywhere.
Does anybody know who the other starting safety was, by the way?
It was the guy that went on to be a coach, wasn't it? Was it Dungy?
It's Tony Dungy.
Yeah.
Johnny Dungy. Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember how it works. Tony Dungy and it's another coach in the NFL.
Don't want the leg.
Yeah.
One of them breaks.
One of them breaks the other one's leg, like snaps it nasty in a game. But I'm trying to remember who the other coach is.
it? Oh, this is gonna bug me.
Man.
I can't think of who it is. But yeah. On a side note here, did Lambert win defensive? Oh, it was defensive rookie of the year. Never mind.
It's not. Yeah,
2 defensive player of the year and was he rookie of the
he
year?
has one defense player of the year.
The other one's a UPI.
Yeah, the UPI one.
Yeah, he's got 2 UPIs, 1 AP.
Okay.
But he's got a defensive rookie of the year. That was fooling me for a
Yeah.
second.
Okay.
We're back to that damn UPI AP stuff.
The older ones they counted the UPI stuff. Now it's
Yeah.
Right.
Because at first I thought he won defensive player of the year as a rookie, and then I looked closer and it was defensive rookie.
it's
of the
the same thing with national championships back then.
Mm.
Yeah, the AP, the UPI, and the coaches poll. You had 3 polls that voted on it.
year. That's crazy.
We think now is crooked. Could you imagine now with
Yeah.
that old voting system?
Mhm.
Oh, it was a joke.
I mean,
I bet.
All right. Well, we got Jack Lambert with what? How many votes? 3 or 4?
Me, Uncle Doug, and who?
Me.
4.
I got him.
You're right.
Everybody
4.
but Drew.
Okay.
All right. So is that all of our 3s then? Nobody has a 3, 4, or 5 left?
Nope,
So we're at 2? Anybody have a 2 left? I don't have a 2 left.
I don't.
no.
No, I don't.
All right. I assume we all have the same number 1 because nobody said it yet.
I would guess.
Yeah.
So Ray Lewis.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes, another Ray on the list.
There you go.
Not another.
2 unanimous.
Not bad, boys. Not bad.
Pretty good.
Never mind 1 and 2. So
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, yep, they were my 1 and 2.
I like it a lot.
he is the all-time leading tackler. He's in the Hall of Fame. He has 12 Pro Bowls. How many All-Pros do you have? Anybody know?
9 or something? 10? Something.
All pros, 7 first, 3 second.
10.
10. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champ and has a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
He's on the All 2000s team. He's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He has 31 career interceptions, 3 return for touchdown. He has 20 career fumble recoveries, 0 return for touchdown. 41 career sacks, over 2,000 career tackles, and I believe he's the only person in history to hit that 2,000 mark.
Did London Fletcher get there? Or was he just under
He's
it?
close. I think he might be at 19.
Maybe at 19. I knew Leonard Fletcher was close. I was kind of
He's second. I know he's second. It's hit those two, and then Seau. Yeah.
Here's one of the more curious things, though. Like, if they actually track tackles back, even if this back to like Lambert's day, what do you think the all-time tackles list would look like if we got to see?
Because here's the thing: is those guys, a lot of those guys are tackling machines. Butkus, Lambert, those guys, but none of them had super long careers. And I think part of it's because the play was so physical.
Yes.
Yeah.
They hit so hard.
I mean, Butkus only played 8 years.
Yeah.
And what Lambert play like 11?
Right.
I don't know.
You know, Seau and Lewis play like 20.
Yeah, well, that's rare, though. 20 is rare.
Yeah, you ain't
20 is
gonna
rare.
get 20 years out of Dick Butkus.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still over 1,000 for 8 years. So, I mean,
some people their bodies just hang on longer.
Well, and we have such better medical technology now.
Yeah.
To rebuild the knees, rebuild shoulders, things they couldn't do back then.
Yeah, one major knee injury in your career was never the same back then. So, yeah.
He had a wild little celebration dance, too, I remember.
Wasn't there a Broncos linebacker that you said had like...
he has over 2,000 tackles.
Yeah, and he's not even on the official list.
Yeah.
Oh, Randy Gradishar?
Yeah.
He has over 2,000.
Again,
He has like 2,100, I think.
Yeah,
They're just not
nuts.
They're not official. Yeah.
Tackles are something you can go back and count.
Isn't there an old
Sorry.
Eagles linebacker?
Chuck Butterneck.
Yeah.
He's another one.
He probably has. I'm sure. Because back then they ran so much. If you were the dominant defensive linebacker, I bet some of those guys probably averaged 20, 23 tackles a game. Like when they were running the ball 50, 60 times, like way back in the day. Like, I bet some of those dudes' tackle numbers are insane.
Yeah.
Well, like Nick Bonacani that played for the undefeated Dolphins.
Yeah. I bet there's some ones in there that would really shake up the list. I don't know. We're going to sidetrack it again.
Yeah.
Well, we got 8 guys for 5 spots, so not a ridiculous amount, but we do have to make some decisions here. Can we pull the list up, Ray?
Yes, sir.
So Butkus and Lewis are in, so technically I guess we have 6 guys for 3 spots. So
2 of them have 4.
yeah, we have 2 guys with 4 and 2 guys with 1. I feel like that's a pretty good matchup there. Although both guys with 4 I have, so I can't change my 1 and put it on one of them.
Let's see.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Come to the Urlacher trade?
I'm going to convince you all to come to Junior Seau because he's the 3rd all-time leading tackler.
Absolutely not.
You know what, Alex? I'll get wild with you.
Ray,
Come on.
Ray, yeah, buddy. Ray has now come to the Junior Seau train, and Ray Nitschke is off the board.
At least we got the dumb Packer off the list.
That's fair.
I thought I'd go to Junior Seau because there's too many bears up there. And I caused half of it.
Okay.
All right, so anybody have any ideas? Anybody have any deals in their head, or
Let's see.
I don't have any deals. I can give some explanations on some of the decisions I made.
sure, go for it.
I mean, everybody up there is an all-time great first ballot Hall of Fame linebacker.
Yep.
So none of them are bad choices. But my thought process as far as Mike Singletary was, he was a great linebacker, but his numbers just didn't really do a lot. There wasn't a lot of all-around numbers with Mike Singletary. And Urlacher, I was choosing between him and Urlacher for my last spot. And Urlacher, like you said, Urlacher's the all-time leading tackler.
Mhm.
And Urlacher has a ton more sacks, more interceptions. Like Go ahead.
I just got a question. I mean, I just feel like Jack Lambert and Mike Singletary did the same thing. They played middle linebacker on the greatest defense of their decade.
Yeah.
I mean, they just did the same thing, basically.
But
No, I just say Mike Singletary. I'm just saying
but
Mike
he
Singletary.
has both.
What?
No, I was just asking.
Oh,
No, wait, you don't. Wait.
What?
Who has No, I think Singletary's me, Ray, and my dad.
Yeah.
What did you say again?
I feel like Lambert and Singletary did the same thing.
Oh, I thought you said I thought Lambert and Butkus did the same thing. I was like, yeah, they did, and they're both up there.
No,
Like,
no.
I was like, oh, okay, that's my bad. Okay,
No, you're
sorry.
good.
We're all good. And then who else we got here? Oh, and then Junior Seau. I like Junior Seau, and he was really good for a while, but a lot of his numbers is just like the Frank Gore effect. It just didn't fucking go away. I mean,
Played for 20 years.
yeah, I mean, he played for 20 years, and Brian Urlacher played for like 12 or 13, and Urlacher was only like 10 sacks behind him. I think Urlacher might have more interceptions than Seau, and in their primes, they were both all-time great tacklers. I just think in their primes, Urlacher was better than Seau.
Urlacher got a Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Did Seau not have one? Never had one. Gotcha.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I really like Junior Seau, and he is an all-time great linebacker. But I put him on my list more than anything to mess with Drew.
I thought about him, but I'm like, wait, he just was there so long.
Yeah.
Some of the numbers came up.
And he was great for a long time. He just, he stuck around a long time and just kind of accumulated some.
Who has the Urlachers? Who's the two?
Me and Drew.
You and Drew. Ray,
Yeah.
shall we get rid of Seau and go to Urlacher?
We don't really want to.
Don't really want to.
I'll go to Brooks.
I already have Brooks, so I can't go there. But you can
that'll
if you
get
want.
Brooks in.
That'll get
Let him
Brooks
go
in. So
to
go
Brooks.
ahead. I'll go somewhere else.
You can still come to Urlacher train, Alex.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Urlacher.
So now I went from Seau to Brooks. One.
But Derek Brooks is in.
Yeah.
So Brooks, Butkus, and Lewis so far. So
Okay.
now we have three guys for two spots.
Yep.
Seau's off, Ray. I went to Urlacher.
Oh, okay, my bad. About to say I was about to get spicy again.
Our math numbers not working out here.
Hard math.
Ooh, boy.
So we go to the boards, put our two down.
What do we do with this?
Put them on the board.
Oh God.
We can talk about it a little longer if you want to.
No, it's fine.
We're just going to go back to the boards.
Urlacher, I think, is the best overall linebacker.
I
He did it all. And then I feel like those two did the same thing. It's
I just feel like
preference.
Urlacher is the better in their prime all-around linebacker, in my opinion, and that's why I'm on my list over Singletary. I put Lambert over Singletary because he won 4 Super Bowls, and I think his all-around, like his interception numbers, I think were better, and he won this. Yeah, I don't know, more team success and a little better all-around numbers. Is pretty much my only.
Team success might have to do with the offense.
Well, I mean. We just talked about it a little bit ago. I mean, that whole team was just.
I'm not saying
stacked
that
with Hall of
Bears team
Famers.
didn't have Hall of Famers on, but not to the extent that Steelers team did.
I mean, really, you have one team has Walter Payton, one team has Terry Bradshaw. I mean, half a dozen to one, 6 to the other. I mean, really, it's the same thing.
I know you didn't just oh boy, sweetness.
Well, I mean, you were saying how much better the Steelers' offense was. It ran through Terry Bradshaw. Your offense ran through Walter Payton. So I'm just saying. I mean,
Whoa. I had taken Franco Harris comparison better than that. What the heck?
Oh, Terry Bradshaw strikes again.
we're going to piss off some Steelers fans.
Bradshaw
well.
McMahon.
I'm taking my spunky QB out of BYU.
That's right.
There ain't no way he's a Mormon.
Oh, man. All right, what are we doing here, gents? Are we talking or are we going to the boards?
Let's just go to the boards.
We can take our chances with the ball.
Let's just do it.
All right.
Lock him in.
I'm not gonna write it down. I know. We all know. We all know.
But do we?
Question is, Alberta, if Drew gets 3 linebackers in, does he win your bet with one position?
It would even it up with one position.
No, I mean, didn't you make a bet with Drew about only 3 Bears, not 3 Bears to make the list?
I said no more than 3.
No more than 3.
So he'd have 3 on this list and then Walter Payton.
Gotcha.
And I got more boys coming in hot later.
Now, I will say this, though. I did say that before we decided to do special teams.
Yeah, that's true.
I will
You
give him
did.
that. He did forget about
You
that.
did.
Yeah.
That's next week.
Yeah.
Is it?
Special teams
Yup.
next week.
We're doing special teams next week. All right.
Wait.
Maybe.
I mean,
All right.
Because as much as I like to give Drew crap, Devin Hester is going to be on everybody's list.
We could really. Oh yeah, sorry. What a sped up.
I mean, he's no Joshua Cribbs, but he's pretty good.
Get out of here.
I prefer Dante Hall myself.
Dante Hall, yeah.
You guys gotta stop. I'm bringing my laptop next week. I got this whole website found on Devin Hester and every record he has.
Really, actually, an all-time great return guy is Cordell Patterson.
Yeah.
I think he has the all-time record.
Who did he
for
play for?
returns. Well, he was a Bear. He played for everybody.
Played with the Bear for a little bit, so it counts,
Yeah.
Wade. It counts.
Well, you know who else was good was Percy Harvin.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't always hurt.
He couldn't stay healthy, but he was a heck of a return guy when he was
He
healthy.
was explosive.
Has everybody got there too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Drew?
Yeah. I mean, we know who Drew's picking.
I have Urlacher and Lambert.
I have Lambert and Singletary.
I also have Lambert and Singletary.
I have Lambert and Urlacher.
Urlacher and Singletary.
I don't know. I didn't keep track of it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So how many of us voted for Lambert? 4 of us.
4.
How many of us voted for Singletary? 3. How many people voted for Urlacher?
Same on
3.
the board.
So it's the same as on the board. We didn't change anything.
We didn't change anything.
But no. Wait.
So basically,
So whoever got the 4 votes goes in. Then we just do.
you're gonna make me pick one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yes, it does. Lambert won that vote, and then we go between the Bears.
All right, so Jack Lambert's in.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that, but we don't want to. Just
Oh, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Cool. Whatever. He did get the most votes.
The Bears fan probably saying "fuck this," but it's okay.
Well, I mean, we're split 2 and 2 in the room if we don't count Drew as far as these 2 linebackers. So I'd say Drew just has to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Bear man, so you get to pick which one of them was better.
Yeah,
I think you just said a minute ago that Urlacher's the best linebacker on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Singletary is the leader of the greatest defense of all time.
I mean, don't get carried away here. I mean, they played a 9-man front. How great were they, really? I mean,
Besides Dan Marino, no one else figured it out.
yeah. Drew looks like he's constipated.
On the first day of Christmas, Drew can't pick.
Take Urlacher.
Urlacher?
Urlacher.
Okay.
So that means our all-time 5 greatest linebackers are Brian Urlacher, Dick Butkus, Derek Brooks, Jack Lambert, and Ray Lewis. So that will end our linebacker portion of this episode and send us into What If. Uncle Doug, you got a What If for us? Wasn't it you that said you had one?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Just this week, they've been talking about the NFL may legislate the hip drop tackle. Well, that's my what if. What if they do eliminate the hip drop tackle?
Well, my initial reaction is no one's going to get tackled anymore.
Well, first of all, they're going to have to define it. They're going to have to be specific about what it is. And then I'm with Drew. It's if you're tackling somebody from behind,
It makes it almost impossible.
it's going to be really hard.
We're just going to have people jumping on each other's backs.
Right, you'll have to drive them forward, and if you can't drive them forward,
You can't do anything.
you won't be able to bring them down.
Because if you bring them backwards, you're getting a horse collar every time.
horse collar or hip drop.
the problem is they're trying to take all the injuries out of football, and if you take all the injuries out of football, it's not football anymore.
Right, it's the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, it's flag football.
It's going to happen. Football injuries are going to happen.
Yeah,
I hate to say I don't want anyone to get hurt, but it just happens.
Yeah, that's what you signed up for.
I mean it's the most physical game we play in America.
according to the NFL, a hip drop tackle is 25 times more likely to injure a player than a regular tackle.
And I think it has to do with that falling on their legs and rolling up.
Oh, it's
You
just
get a lot of
dead weight. They just grab them and they just
Well,
they use their body weight to pull them down.
Yeah. And well, then they do that roll, and the person who's getting tackled, their knee usually gets snapped in one direction, and it gets held under their body.
Or someone's ankle.
Or their ankle. You get a lot of ankle injuries.
Knee and
with
ankle
hip drop.
injuries, yeah.
Because part of the leg is trapped under the body, and the other part of the body is yanking the leg
And
in
it just
another
turns.
direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the last stories I read, the Players Association had come out against legislating it. They think that it's already too hard for guys to tackle.
Well, there's a fight.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're watching an NBA game.
Bucks are just mad because we whipped them the last 2 times we played them, so they sit their fucking asses down.
Aren't you guys losing?
Yeah, but by 8, that's like 3 seconds. That's 3
I'll
seconds.
tell you what, ain't nobody on that court want to mess with Bobby Portis. I'm just saying. Not a single player on that court wants any part of Bobby Portis.
Here's the.
What's so special about Bobby Portis?
Did you see when he broke Mirotic?
See, that's unnecessary. Don't come over there starting a fight. Fuck off, dude. Go back to the bench. Anyway, let's get back to this. What
I'm dying.
Anyway, somebody I was listening to somebody talk about it the other day, and they were saying it's the lower body equivalent of the horse collar.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you're pulling them backwards.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just, they have trouble with the horse collar already. Is it a horse collar? Is it not? How are they going to define this one? I'm really not in favor of giving referees any more choices to make.
Yeah, this isn't even worth a
let's
judgment
make
call.
it clear cut. If you're going to legislate it, make it straight.
Yeah, so we're gonna have more terrible calls. Like it's just gonna happen with this because this is totally subjective. What referee crew you have,
Yeah, it's gonna be.
A bunch of controversial calls are gonna happen.
And how you going to start like coaching defenses anymore in college? Is like, how are you going to go about training that anymore?
Yeah. Well, and how's this like? I think somebody said off air. Are you going to start seeing the big running backs, big fullbacks come back? Because how's you going to bring them down from behind?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you take away the horse collar, you take away the hip drop. I don't know. Somebody said it earlier off air. I think, like, you really could make a case for the resurgence of the run game. Period.
Sure.
Like if you're taking away even more defensive weapons, because we've taken away a lot of them already.
Yeah.
If we just keep taking away things defenses can do, the running game has to come back at some point because defenses have already gotten small. First off,
Right.
But then second off, we're taking away different ways they can tackle. They already can't just fly up and lay people out anymore. Because, they just get penalized for that.
Right.
Essentially, if you just see a guy get laid out anymore, they throw a flag and say he did something wrong.
Well, and
Called unnecessary roughness.
Yeah.
Corners come in on a running back or a receiver going down the sideline. Used to be they just drilled them.
Mm-hmm.
Now they try to arm tackle, which ends up being a hip drop because they
Or
wrap
they-
their arms and use their weight to pull them down.
Or they arm tackle and he gets a broken tackle,
Right.
and then they get yelled at on the sideline for giving up a touchdown.
So, what's going to end up happening with those? I don't know. This is...
They interviewed Geno Smith about it, and Geno Smith said there's no place in the sport for that type of tackle.
I don't know. I feel like we just keep hindering the defense over. And
They got Tyreek Hill with it this week.
Yeah.
He left their game. Of course, Mark Andrews broke his ankle on it this year. Tony Pollard got his leg snapped on it last year. I feel like we're forgetting more people, but
Right. Oh, there's been I mean, it definitely has the potential. I mean, it's like there's a lot of ankle sprains and stuff like that come along with it.
yeah, didn't Mahomes
I was
get
thinking
rolled
Mahomes
up on
did.
a couple years ago,
Yeah,
right
he
before the
got rolled
playoffs?
up on.
Yeah, because the whole playoff run, he played with a high
Ankle
grade
sprain,
sprain.
yeah.
Oh.
That was never a high ankle sprain.
No.
It's the same thing with someone played the week after they got a high ankle sprain this last week. They were talking about it on one of the
Lawrence.
podcasts.
Yeah, Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence.
And one of the podcasts I was listening to, they're just like, it's just not a high ankle sprain. They're just calling stuff that isn't a high ankle sprain now. He goes, people went like, for decades, you got a high ankle sprain, nobody played for
like 4 weeks.
Yeah, like a month. He didn't play. No one ever did it, ever. And now all of a sudden, these two really not that special athletic quarterbacks, like, just randomly do it in back-to-back seasons. Like, it's like, okay. They just aren't high ankle sprains.
But was it a hip drop tackle that got Dak Prescott's leg a couple years ago?
He had a real nasty one.
Yeah,
he was running downfield, but I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I remember being kind of nasty, but I don't remember.
I know it was against the Giants, but I don't.
Wasn't it like on a primetime game?
Yeah, it was that second game.
Yeah, I was
Sunday
watching it when it
afternoon,
happened. Because I think it was Tony Romo was like,
He said, I hope it's just a cramp.
yeah.
Then I saw his ankle. I'm like, that's not a cramp. His ankle's broken. Yeah. Like, there's no way.
Some people want old Dak to be the MVP this year.
It's becoming a thing, yes.
It's coming. The more every week they win, it's coming in.
Is it? Do you think it's better than Mahomes? Would you rather have Dak or Mahomes be the MVP?
Dak.
I don't think Mahomes stands a chance at this
Don't we
point.
have another choice?
No, they're going to give it to Purdy.
No, I'm not talking about who deserves it. I'm saying
Oh, gotcha.
you all hate Mahomes, and I know you guys don't like the Cowboys. Who would you rather win the MVP, Dak or Mahomes?
Dak.
Alex, Mr. Eagles fan? Yeah. Dak or Mahomes? Who do you hate more?
Oh, man.
Who do you want to have the MVP?
Yeah. Especially after last week.
I mean, honestly, I'm watching the play right now. I don't know what this is. I mean, he kind of did hip drop
Kind of, but not.
to break Dak's leg.
I mean,
But it was kind of off to the side, and
His
his
ankle-
legs whipped around and broke his leg.
Like, when he was tackling him, his legs come around and like it just lands on his ankle and the ankle goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm at a point with Mahomes where it's kind of like, oh, so he adds another award? Like, what? Well, like, whatever. I guess at some point we've got to start these whole, like, Mahomes is the greatest quarterback ever thing starts to come to fruition if he wins enough shit.
It's already coming in. What do you mean?
I mean,
From where we live, at least
No, I
it's
mean,
starting.
people say it, but it means nothing. You have 2 Super Bowls and 1 MVP. Like, you're not you don't have like a shit ton of argument to make here. When we just had a guy win his 7th Super Bowl a couple years ago, and he has 4 MVPs. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Mahomes won an award on Sunday for biggest cry over fundamental pee-wee bullshit.
yeah, he definitely did that. Well, it was a bad look for Mahomes. I mean, I'm not trying to completely trash the guy, but because it wasn't the end of the world. But it's it's one of those things of it was just a bad look. I mean, first off, the Chiefs benefit from more ridiculous calls and lack of calls than any team I've ever seen, I think. I mean, we all give the Patriots a lot of hard times about cheating and stuff. I'm not accusing the Chiefs of cheating. There just seems to be any big moment, any big game, there's a whole bunch of calls that go the Chiefs' way, and I'm sitting there going, what is going on
Get the
here?
benefit of the doubt.
It literally happened the moment Brady left New England. All the
Right.
favor went straight to the Mahomes.
And Andy Reid. I mean, they all loved Andy Reid.
They wanted to get him a
He's the
Super
old
Bowl.
grandfatherly coach, and everybody loved him.
And his son died, and his
Mahomes burst onto the scene and was this
He won that MVP
like
that
overnight
year,
sensation, and then was just like bam.
and here we are,
The league.
5 years later.
The league knows how to make money.
there's a bunch of people out there that think Lamar should be the MVP as well.
He was a couple weeks ago. He was the favorite. If he keeps winning and doesn't get hurt, and they become the 1 seed,
If he
I'm guessing it's gonna be Lamar, Dak,
Purdy.
probably Purdy. Yeah, these last couple weeks have been Purdy. Which honestly, in my opinion, me and my friend Robert, we've talked about this. He thinks it should be Tyreek, and I've I said for me, I think it should be Christian McCaffrey.
this would be the
True.
year to not have it be a
That's very
quarterback.
true.
I mean, honestly,
No quarterback stands out.
I'd rather give it to one of those two. I'd give one
I agree.
MVP and the other one Offensive Player of the Year, and say we gotta start a new trend.
I think
Yeah.
Tyreek should be MVP.
I mean,
personally.
Tyreek, I think, so that like 1,500 receiving yards, and like 16 all-purpose, and McCaffrey's like at 17 all-purpose yards, and has like touchdowns out galore.
Well, I say
has
if
a ton of
Tyreek gets
touchdowns.
to 2,000
He's on
receiving
pace.
yards,
I think if you take Tyreek off the Dolphins, they're significantly worse. I think
Well, we seen that last week.
I think
They
he
look
has-
significantly
It
worse
looks way
last
worse
week
than
without
the two
him.
quarters he didn't play.
he has the impact of a really good quarterback for the Dolphins. I think, at least for this year, anyway. Because
Yeah.
none of the quarterbacks have been that great.
None of them are like
Everybody's been up and down.
world-beating numbers for 17 games in a pass-happy league.
Yeah.
It's nothing special.
There's no one above everybody else
Yeah.
quarterback-wise.
I'm not saying there aren't good numbers, but it's not like what those two are doing, in my opinion.
Who did everybody in here pick for MVP?
I picked
Well,
Justin Herbert.
I picked Hurts.
I think I picked
Josh Allen. I picked Trevor Lawrence.
I think I was high on the Ravens, so I probably had.
I think you
maybe
did pick Lamar because
Yeah.
you picked the Ravens for everything. I
Yeah.
think.
I picked the Ravens to win that division in our preview.
Yeah, because then you've been offensive player of the year. You picked Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I know. That's out the window. My picks are sucking.
I picked the Bengals to make the Super Bowl against the Eagles, and then Burrow got hurt.
Shit, I'm trying to remember.
Well, their backups look pretty decent.
Jake Browning wasn't bad at Washington.
He stomped our ass last week, and he beat someone the week before last
He beat the
week.
Jaguars
Yeah.
week before.
Yeah.
He's not a bad back. He's good at Washington.
They
dropped
threw
like
like
34.
340 yards and 2 touchdowns against the.
Well, I think that's who Michael
Somebody.
Penix is chasing. Only Washington's all-time leading stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because that last time they were in the playoff, he was their quarterback. He's not bad. I mean, he's not Joe Shiesty, but
Well, he might be better than Joe Shiesty was this year.
He had
He
a
was
rough
pretty
time.
bad
Probably.
for most of the year.
I think he just hurt.
Well, he had those first 3 weeks that were awful, and then he seemed to rebound a little bit, and then he had a couple really great games, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, bleh.
Hey guys, we haven't talked about the what if in like 10 minutes.
Well, we kind of covered it.
Yeah. How long are we running right now, Ray?
We're at hour 6.
Not too bad.
Pretty decent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you tuning in for this linebacker episode. We would appreciate you tuning in for our returners episode next week. That'll be an interesting one, I think.
Goat himself's coming.
There'll be no Bears next week.
That's a lie.
We're banning the Bears.
Nope. He's the greatest of all time. We all know it.
We would appreciate you sending us some emails, answering our questions, comments, reviews, ratings. And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.